Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2023 Disney Plus / Sony original TV series Goosebumps. So the first season is just Goosebumps. Second season is called The Vanishing, and it's like American Horror Story, where it's an anthology. So season one is one story, season two is another story. What's very interesting about this project is I knew Justin Long was in this. I didn't know Rachel Harris was in this. Rachel Harris is awesome, and I've seen her the most in watching the Wimpy Kid original trilogy, first, second, and third films, constantly as Susan Heffley. So it's fun seeing her play another mom character. She's a great comedic actress, but she's also a great dramatic actress. She's a great all-around actress. So to see her play this character of Nora, Lucas's mom, in this show, very cool. Now, I watched all 10 episodes with my folks. I have been a massive Goosebumps fan for many years. Oh, I should have got my Goosebump blanket out. I got all the books over there from the 90s, the original 62 run. Man, I missed opportunity. I did full reviews of every single of the 90s original books with the blanket behind me. And I have a hat. I have a sweatshirt. Man, missed opportunities all around. Anyway, moving on. The show is very smart, and it's very smart because it's not like the 90s show, which coincided with the books that came out, where it's very much one episode is one story, or two episodes is part one and part two of one story, etc. The titles of the episodes are based, and certain plot points are based on the books, but it's one story together with inspired elements from Goosebumps. So you have the haunting ghost, the barking ghost at one point, who is Fifi. You have the Go Eat Worms story, Lucas eating a worm and then being possessed by worms at one point coming from the Biddle house. You have the Ghost Next Door, basically, which is Harold Biddle's story, which is a horrifying book. Girl dies in a fire and she thinks the boy next door is the ghost, but it's really her the entire time. The scariest story of all of them. There's some elements of monster blood in there a little bit. You have the Haunted Mask a little bit. You have Night of the Living Dummy, Night of the Living Dummy Part 2, specifically because of Slappy. I really like that we get Slappy's backstory in this. We get his creator story, how he was made, the guy who learned some spells along the way because of a war in 1879 and brought them back to the States, and his soul is what's possessed Slappy, and Slappy then is the one who is inflicting the evil curses and stuff upon the individual who owns the doll then. So it's a very interesting backstory given to us for Slappy. But while this is happening, you have 5 main kids at this high school in Port Lawrence in Washington State dealing with stuff, real life stuff. They're going to be seniors soon. You know, what happens with college, etc. My parents are fighting. 2 classmates' parents are now getting together. How does that work when they themselves are starting to be interested in each other? It's very interesting. It's general high school dynamics, but with twists. It's got supernatural twists to it. Part of this show felt very much like Teen Wolf. Part of the show felt very much like Stranger Things. The wrap up in the 6th or 7th episode, when we get the Harold Biddle story arc, how he was killed in that fire in 93, the revelation of it was the teen's parents who were friends with him trying to help him get away from Slappy the entire time, but it was a fire gone wrong, things, right? But then his spirit releasing, him getting to cross over with his parents, gorgeous. It reminded me a lot of Haunting of Connecticut, when the burnt spirit is looking at that Sam character played by what's his name? We love him. We've seen him in so many things. Names are just escaping my brain right now. It'll come to me later. But that film reminded me, that scene, the ending scene, where the two dead boys, what's the poem in that movie? 2 dead boys go out to fight or something like that. That burnt character and the non-burnt character staring at each other reminded me a lot of them, what Goosebumps did, or vice versa. Goosebumps reminded me a lot of what Haunting in Connecticut did. It was very cool. It was very well done. I thought it was very, very entertaining. I really enjoyed how the last few episodes was an epilogue, if you will, where the story ends, but what happens next? So it's not a matter of another season, because the second season of this franchise is not the same characters. It's not the same characters. It's not the same stories. It's a different story. It takes place in New York. This takes place in Washington. This takes place in New York. We'll call it the same universe, of course, but it's not the same. We're not going to know what happens after. So at the end, Isaiah wakes up. Brat sees Kanamu in the mirror again, but how? When his spirit went down to hell with the other ghosts. How does that happen? The point of the ending, and a lot of people don't like the ending. I've been reading into. My parents didn't like the ending, but we loved the lead up to it. A lot of people who didn't read the books won't appreciate the ending, because the original 62 run of those books, 62, 64 books, however many of those were they did. Kyle Garner, I knew his name would pop up at some point. Kyle Garner is the character. He plays Sam in Haunting in Connecticut. I knew his name would pop up. I knew it. We love Kyle. Kyle's awesome. Great horror actor. Jennifer's Body. He's been in so many different things. So many things. Smile. He's been in so many things. Love him. The ending of all the books in the franchise is very cliffhanger. So there's a big twist reveal, and it ends. And you don't know what happens next. And that's what's entertaining about the books, is because you yourself, your reader bewaring, can decide, well, did this thing lead to this? Was it a dream? Were they all ghosts? It could be anything. And that's what's entertaining about watching the season finale of this, because it was very similar to how the books end, that same kind of vibe. It leaves on such a massive cliffhanger, and you're never going to know what the ending is, because that's the point. It could be any possible ending. I like it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well done. I thought the 5 actors together did a fantastic job. I really wish that we got a second season of their story, of course, but we didn't, and it's fine. Just loved James's character was absolutely hysterical. I thought Isaiah was wonderful as well. Margot, Isabella, Lucas, respectively. Lucas was great. I really enjoyed the 5 dynamic of them. I loved Justin Long as playing the character of Nathan Bratt. He is a fantastic, all-around, incredible actor. He's done comedy so well. He's done horror so well. He's done drama so well. I've seen him in many, many projects since the very first thing he did mainstream-wise, 1999's Galaxy Quest, December 25th, 1999. That's when it came out. Incredible. Absolutely incredible talent. Wonderful cast. Wonderful story. Wonderful cliffhanger wrap-up, as the books are supposed to do. Goosebumps 2023 Disney Plus original show. On to the next review. It's mahalo.